Why understanding natives is impossible until you do this sounds dramatic. But if you've ever nodded like you understood while your brain was buffering, you know the feeling.
In this episode, you'll learn a simple way to follow real conversations without catching every word, plus what to do in the moment when you miss something, and how to practice it in daily life.
You're talking to someone friendly. They smile, they say a bunch of stuff, and you only catch 2 words.
So, you smile back, throw out a little yeah, and hope your face looks normal.
It happens at the grocery store, with neighbors, with your friend's roommate, even with the barista who is somehow speaking at 2x speed.
And it's not because you're lazy or bad at listening. It's because real speech is messy on purpose.
Most people try to fix it by listening harder, like squeezing their ears tighter. That usually makes it worse.
Today, we're going to flip it. Listen for the message first, then let the words fill in around it.
Think about the last time you understood a movie scene without hearing every single word.
You still got it, because you knew what kind of scene it was and what people usually say there.
That's the skill. Knowing the situation so well that missing a few words doesn't matter.
Sorry, I missed that. Can you say it one more time?
And another one? What was that last part?
And the smooth one. So you mean you're saying it's, then you guess the idea.
When you do that, you're not failing. You're participating like a normal person.
Also, your brain needs a beat. Understanding real speech is often half a second late, and that's okay.
Instead of chasing every word, you're going to catch the key words, the emotion, and the direction of the story.
Then you'll notice something wild. Once your brain relaxes, you actually hear more words anyway.
Let's talk about why understanding natives can feel impossible in the first place. People don't speak like textbooks. They speak like they're trying to get through life quickly. They drop sounds, they blend words, and they expect you to fill in the gaps because that's what everyone else does. On top of that, they're usually doing something else while they talk. Walking, cooking, driving, looking for their keys. So the speech is fast, casual, and full of shortcuts.
And your brain is doing a different job. You're trying to decode every word in order, like you're typing what you hear. That's a heavy task, and it's slow. Meanwhile, the conversation keeps moving, and you feel like you're behind, so you panic a little. Panic makes you focus even more on words, and then you fall further behind. It's not your English level, it's the strategy.
Here's the switch that changes everything. Stop treating listening like a word-by-word quiz. Treat it like a game of what is happening right now. If you know what's happening, you can predict what's likely to be said. Prediction is not guessing randomly, it's using the situation. When you predict, your brain doesn't have to chase every syllable because it already has a few good options ready.
Real life example. You're in a store and you bring something to the counter. You don't need to hear every word to understand the vibe. The person is either asking if you found everything, asking if you want a bag, telling you the total, or making quick small talk. So even if you only hear bag and card, you're fine. You respond like a normal customer, and the conversation stays smooth.
Same thing with neighbors. If you're walking to your car and someone says something while they're also holding a trash bag and wrestling their door, it's probably one of a few scripts. Weather, weekend, the building, or a small complaint about something. You can listen for the anchor words, cold, busy, weekend, parking, and then answer the script, not the exact sentence.
That's why it feels impossible until it suddenly isn't. When you finally build enough scripts in your head, you stop being shocked by normal speech. You start thinking, oh, this is that moment, and your brain relaxes. Relaxed brains hear more. It's the same way you can follow your favorite TV show better after a few episodes, even if the actors speak quickly.
Let's make scripts super practical. A script is just a common situation plus common lines people say in that situation. Coffee shop script: order, payment, maybe a quick question, then have a good one. Elevator script: tiny comment, tiny response, then silence. Friend's house script: shoes, where to put your coat, how the drive was. If you learn those, your brain stops trying to invent meaning from scratch every time.
And there's another hidden problem. You're expecting clean sound. In real speech, words don't stand alone. They stick together like magnets. So if you're listening for a word you learned in class, you might not recognize it when it's smushed into the sentence. But if you listen for the message, you can still respond correctly, and then later you can replay it in your mind and notice what words were actually there.
Here's a quick call and response. Imagine a cashier says something and you catch only one word: receipt. Your turn, give a short, natural answer. Try no thanks, or yes please, or I'm good. Keep it simple. Notice how you don't need the full sentence to respond.
Now another one. You're leaving and you hear take and then the rest disappears. Your turn, respond with you too. That's it. People say a lot of lines that basically invite the same response. That's not cheating. That's how small talk works. You're building automatic responses so you can save your brain power for the interesting parts.
Let's go into the interesting parts. Stories and opinions. This is where people think they must understand every word, but you still don't. You need the spine of the story. Who, where, what happened, and how they felt about it. If you catch those, you can keep the conversation going with questions. Questions buy your time, and they guide the speaker to repeat the important parts.
Try this. When you miss something, don't freeze. Do one of these 3 moves. Move 1. Ask a simple question about a piece you did catch, like, wait, at your old job or the new one? Move 2. Repeat the last clear thing you heard with a question voice, like, a new manager? Move 3. Summarize the vibe and check it, like, so it was kind of stressful? Each move keeps you in the conversation.
Notice how none of those moves require perfect hearing. They require attention. That's a nicer goal. Be present, not perfect. People like talking to you when you look engaged, even if you ask them to repeat something. Honestly, many natives do this with each other all the time. What? Sorry? Say that again?
Let's practice those moves out loud. Your turn. Say, hold on. Did you mean it got better or it got worse? That question forces the speaker to give you a clear contrast. Another one. Okay, so the main thing is you are waiting forever, right? That summary makes them confirm or correct you, and either way, you get clarity.
Now, the big switch, in plain everyday terms, is learning to listen with your eyes and your life experience. What is the person doing? Are they smiling, rushing, annoyed, joking? What's the setting? What usually happens here? When you tie sound to context, your brain stops treating English like an abstract puzzle.
Think about talking in a noisy place, like a busy cafe. Even in your first language, you don't hear every word. You read lips a little, you catch key words, you fill in gaps. That's normal human listening. So the goal is not hear everything. The goal is understand enough to respond naturally. Once you accept that, you stop feeling embarrassed when you miss a word.
Let's do a mini scene. You're in an apartment hallway, and a neighbor says something quick while unlocking their door. You catch rain and tomorrow. You can respond with a script line. Yeah, I saw that. Or, oh, I know. Or hopefully it changes. Your answer doesn't need to match their exact words. It needs to match the topic.
And if you're not sure of the topic, you can politely check without making it weird. Your turn. Sorry, are you talking about the weather? That's a perfectly normal line. Or, wait, tomorrow or today? You're not asking for a lecture. You're just picking which door to walk through. Once the topic is clear, the rest gets easier.
Here's something that surprises people. Often the words you miss are not the important ones. They're the tiny filler pieces people use while they think. Natives use lots of little connectors and softeners. If you miss them, you can still understand the main point. So don't chase the tiny pieces while the big idea is right there.
Let's talk about speed. People don't always talk fast. It just feels fast because you're trying to process everything. When you switch to message first, the same speed feels slower. You start hearing the sentence in chunks instead of individual words, and the chunks repeat in daily life, so your brain gets used to them quickly.
A good way to train this is to pick one daily setting and become fluent in that setting's scripts. Choose one: your local store, your gym front desk, your kid's school pickup line, or your building lobby. For 1 week, listen for the same 3 moments: greeting, the question they always ask, and the closing line. Once you recognize those moments, you'll feel a huge confidence boost.
And when you get that confidence, you stop pretending. You stop doing the polite smile that hides confusion. You start being direct and friendly, like, I didn't catch that. What was the first part? The other person usually repeats it more clearly, without any drama. Most people are happy to help if you keep your tone relaxed.
Now let's handle the hard moment. You missed a chunk. and you're already 2 sentences behind. This is where people spiral. Instead, do a reset. Say, "Sorry, I got lost. What happened after that?" Or, "Can you back up for a second?" That gives the speaker permission to restart. It's a power move, not a weak move.
Your turn to practice the reset line. Can you back up a little? Say it twice. Make it calm. Now another. I caught the beginning, but I missed the middle. What was the main point? That line tells the speaker exactly what you need. Clear requests get clear repeats.
Here's another trick. Echo the last 2 or 3 words you heard. If someone says a long sentence and the only part you caught is "next week," you can respond with "next week." That tiny echo invites them to repeat the key info. It's natural, it's short, and it doesn't interrupt the flow.
Echoing works great with names, places, and time. Tuesday, your sister, a new apartment. It makes you sound engaged, not confused. And it often makes the speaker slow down just a little, which is exactly what you want. You're guiding the rhythm without saying, "Slow down."
Let's talk about the difference between understanding and translating. If you're translating in your head, you're always late. But if you understand directly, even if it's fuzzy, you can respond on time. So you want to build direct understanding by hearing the same kind of phrases again and again in real situations. Repetition in context is the secret sauce.
That's why listening practice works better when it's connected to your life. If you always listen to random clips about random topics, your brain doesn't build scripts. It just works hard. But if you listen to the same kind of conversations you actually have, ordering food, making plans, checking on a friend, you build a library. Then real speech stops being a surprise.
Here's a practical daily habit. After one real conversation, do a 30-second replay in your mind. Don't write an essay. Just ask yourself, what was the topic? What was the outcome? And what were 2 phrases you remember? Even if those phrases are incomplete, you're training your brain to store chunks. Over time, those chunks become familiar and easy to hear.
And if you want to level it up, ask one follow-up question you already know. People often end a story, and you can say, "How did that end up?" Or, "What did you do?" Or, "Was it worth it?" Follow-up questions are magic because they keep the speaker on the same topic, and repetition happens naturally. They'll rephrase their point, and you'll understand more the second time.
Let's do a short practice with follow-ups. Imagine someone says, "I tried this new place and it was packed," and you didn't catch everything. Your turn. Ask, "Was it good?" Or, "Did you have to wait?" Or, "Would you go back?" These questions don't require perfect understanding. They just require you to catch the topic. New place, crowded.
Another one. Someone says something about work, and you only catch meeting and late. Your turn. Was it one of those meetings that should have been an email? Or if that feels too specific, keep it simple. So, what happened? You're not stuck. You always have a doorway question.
One more piece that matters. Permission to be human. If you're tense, you'll miss more. So give yourself a script for your feelings too. Something like, I'm a little tired today. Sorry. Say that again? Or, it's noisy in here. Can you repeat that? Those lines remove shame and replace it with a simple reason. People understand that.
Also, don't apologize too much. One calm sorry is enough. Then move forward. The goal is a normal conversation, not a perfect performance. When you act like it's normal to ask for a repeat, the other person treats it as normal too.
Let's zoom out and make a simple plan for the next week. Step 1. Choose 2 situations you're in often. Step 2. Learn the scripts for those situations by paying attention to the same questions people ask you. Step 3. Use one repair line every day on purpose, even if you understood, just to practice saying it naturally. That way, when you truly need it, it comes out smoothly.
And here's your challenge. Next time you're not sure what someone said, don't fake it. Pick one tool, reset, echo, or summarize, and use it. Then notice what happens. Most of the time, the conversation gets clearer and friendlier because now you're actually connecting. That's the moment where understanding stops feeling impossible.
Before we wrap up, let's do one last quick call and response to lock it in. Your turn. Say, sorry, can you say that again a little more slowly? Now, what was the last part? Now, so you mean it's basically, wow. Keep your tone warm and normal, like you're talking to a friend. These lines are small, but they change everything.
If this helped, like, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Keep listening for the message first, not every word, and you'll feel real conversations click sooner than you think.